Welcome back to the Spectrum here in Logan, Utah State and Northern Iowa. It's the Mountain West Missouri Valley Challenge. Last year, the Aggies kicked off this setup of games at Valparaiso. Today, they're back at home taking on Northern Iowa as the Panthers roll into Logan, Utah. Let's give you your starting lineup of Northern Iowa coming into this one. Starting at number 4, A.J. Green, 6'4", 175-pound freshman from Cedar Falls, Iowa. Also starting number 11, that's Trey Burhow, 6'5", 195-pound sophomore from Mayer, Minnesota. Number 22, Wyatt Lohaus, 6'2", 195-pound redshirt senior from North Liberty, Iowa. Number 24, Isaiah Brown, 6'7", 180-pound junior from Floral Mound, Texas. Interesting note on him, Coach, he is the only player on this roster that is not from either Iowa or Minnesota. That is their recruiting fertile ground, Iowa and Minnesota. Other than that, you got one guy on the roster from Texas, and that's it.
It's amazing.
And then number 34, Luke McDonald, a 6'9", 212-pound redshirt junior from Dubuque, Iowa. So there you go, your starting lineup for the Northern Iowa Panthers with head coach Ben Jacobson and his 13th year at Northern Iowa. For Utah State, they stick with their starting lineup that they have for the majority of the season. Crew Ainge, Sam Merrill, Quinn Taylor, Brock Miller, and Neemias Queta. Ready to go, Coach?
You betcha. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep, there you go. And Crew Ainge, I thought, played really well in that game against Arizona State.
Yeah, you know, he came back in St. Mary's. He shot an air ball from the top of the key, but came back in the Arizona State game like he had all the confidence in the world. Made that shot, and it really, really opened up his game. It made them rush a little bit. He did a good job driving and distributing, and a great job defensively.
So Utah State, the Aggies, up against the Panthers from Northern Iowa. Utah State 5-1, their only loss on the season came in Las Vegas to Arizona State, snapping the 5-game winning streak to start the season, whereas Northern Iowa comes into this game at 3-3. Both teams coming to midcourt, and we're ready to get this thing started. Neemias Queta will get the jump against Luke McDonald at 6'9", 212 pounds. Queta, who played so well in the game against St. Mary's, got himself into foul trouble early against Arizona State. We're ready to tip this off, and basketball is underway here in Logan. Neemias Queta controls the tip off to Ainge. Ainge to Quinn Taylor on the left wing. Ainge works over to Sam Merrill. Merrill on the right wing, back over to Quinn to the left. Quinn works back to the middle of the court. Sam Merrill on the top of the three-point line, cuts off his dribble to Ainge. Ainge thinks about a three, drives, picks up his dribble over to Brock Miller on the right. And here we go, 8 seconds left on the shot clock. And ball is stripped away from Sam Merrill. 4 seconds left. Quinn Taylor gets a shot up. Won't go at the buzzer. And here comes Northern Iowa going the other way. Quickly down court, long baseline three, up and missed. It was short by Brown. Fight for the rebound, finally controlled by Ainge, going the other way. Ainge back over to Merrill. Merrill outside the three-point line, pulls up, drops down the three, and Utah State out to an early 3-0 lead.
And I think that's what you and I really want us to do. They want to guard us for 30 seconds of the shot clock, and then get out and shoot a quick one in the fast break.
A.J. Green outside the three-point line. They work it down low to McDonald. McDonald works it back up top to Burhow. Takes a long three. His won't go. And finally, Ainge is able to track down the rebound. Aggies lead 3-0. Just a minute and a half into this game. Ainge on the right wing, looking for a screen. Works it to the left. Finally dishes over to Quinn Taylor. Taylor holds the ball up top to Queta. Queta then to Ainge. Ainge on the right side, drives, dishes out to Taylor. Taylor into the free throw line. Works it back to Miller. Miller on the left wing. Aggies with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Miller drives, pulls up, push shot up, back iron won't go. And here comes Northern Iowa with the rebound, and A.J. Green working it down the court. Green on the right wing, gets a nice screen, slips it down low to his big man McDonald. He's cut off there by Ketta, has to get rid of it. Good job by Ketta on that play.
Yeah, kept his hands up there, stay out of foul trouble.
Green drives, gets in the lane, pulls up from about 8 feet out, won't go, but a nice offensive rebound by McDonald. Keeps the possession alive for Northern Iowa. McDonald outside the three-point line to Green. Green tries to drive, works it back over on the left wing to Burhow. He drives, and he's cut off nicely by Merrill. Up top to Lowhouse. Lowhouse wants to drive. He can't find anybody. Back to Burhow. He takes a right wing two. Foot was inside the line, knocks it down, and that's the first points for Northern Iowa.
Yeah, Northern Iowa, an interesting team. They have high-scoring games, they have low-scoring games. Right now, we're just dribbling the air out of the ball, both teams.
Yep. 3-2 our score. Aggies lead by 1. 17:25 left to go here in the first half. Quinn Taylor works it around the horn. Down low to Ketta. His first post touch of the night. Works at baseline, puts the shot up, but they say he traveled with it. He laid it up and in, but he picked up a foot, huh, Coach?
So that's a point of emphasis this year. We haven't seen it very often, but a spin without a dribble is an automatic travel. So let's see if we continue to see that or if that's a November call.
Yep. Green on the left wing. Back up top to Lowhouse. Lowhouse tries to drive. He brings it back out of the paint to Burhow. Burhow posts up a man down low. Can't handle the shot. And here comes Ainge going the other way. Ainge crossing the timeline. He wants to drive. He puts a shot off the glass and scores it. Drew Ainge with a nice push shot, and the Aggies lead by 3, 5-2. 16:45 left to go. Dwayne Brown set to check in the next time out. A.J. Green in the paint, has to dish it all the way out, nearly turns it over. Finally tracked down there by Lowhouse. Works it to McDonald. Back to Burhow. Burhow on the right wing to Brown. Brown can't find anybody on the right wing, being guarded nicely by Miller, and he'll travel with it on the crossover.
Well, it's a good matching call. I'll tell you what, the shot clock operator is going to be up
Who
to
knew?
it today, right?
Yeah, Aggies on the season only average about 15 seconds of possession, but they're working it down tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Northern Iowa is doing a fine job defensively, not allowing dribble penetration. We finally got a post touch with, I think, something we need to look at a little more.
Torian Knight checking into the game, running the point for the Aggies. Merrill nearly has the ball stripped out of his hands. He works it back to Knight. Knight with the right hand layup won't go, and he'll be hit with the offensive foul. Coach?
Yeah, pretty close to the restricted arc there. I'd like to see a replay, but no, clearly out. And again, fine defense by a secondary defender. Not a lot you can do there. You're already up in the air, but that's a charge.
Taiwan Pickford checking into the game for the Panthers of Northern Iowa. Also checking in number 30, Spencer Haldeman, into the game for the Panthers. So both teams getting into their bench early on. McDonald with the Aggies leading 5-2 as we reach the 16-minute mark here in the Spectrum, leading again 5-2. Green cut off on the double team, works it to Haldeman. Long three, won't go, tipped around, controlled by Northern Iowa. Now on the left wing, second offensive rebound by the Panthers in the early stages of this game. Trying to get to Haldeman on a curl, swings it back to Green. Green guarded by Merrill. Thinks about going right, he does. Drives baseline, cut off there nicely by Merrill. Still working it on Merrill, takes the baseline jumper, it's missed, but Merrill's able to track down the rebound as Ketta kind of knocks it his way. Aggies up 5-2, 15:31 left to go first half. Merrill cross court over to Torian Knight. Knight to Miller. Miller crosses over, takes the jumper, hits it just inside the three-point line, buries it, and the Aggies up by 5, 7-2. 15-17 left to go here in the first half. McDonald handing off to Haldeman. Haldeman to Green on the right wing for the Panthers of Northern Iowa. Aggies up 7-2. Pickford slips it to Haldeman, and it's blocked. Beautiful block by Ketta, who will have none of that and walks down the court chatting a little bit. Ketta down low, right-hand shot up and good. Merrill rewards the big man for the block.
Well, just when I thought he was about out of gas, he blocks that shot and gives him a little stare down. No, he's talking a little bit now and goes down and finishes on the other end.
Aggies up 9-2, doing it with style. Namias Ketta. Haldeman works it over to McDonald, who will take a long straightaway three and buries it. 9-5, Aggies up by 4, 14:28 left to go.
Yeah, and that'll be the only answer for McDonald. He won't go back inside again.
No, he wants no part of that.
If you're going to get blocked on on a pick and slip. That's bad news.
Torian Knight outside the three-point line. Dwayne Brown, he'll take a straightaway three, and he knocks it down. Good to see that three-point shot falling for him.
Yeah, and you know, one thing we saw at the end of shoot-around today was Dwayne Brown taking a lot of shots, a lot of extra shots.
A.J. Green into the lane, shot up from the free throw line, won't go. Pulling it down is Ketta, who's had a huge impact. Hands it quickly over to Brown. Aggies don't have numbers, Brown don't care. Right hand scoop shot up, missed, but draws the foul, and we've got a timeout. Aggies up by 7, 12-5, 13:52 left to go in the first half on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. 12-5 with 13:52 left to go here in the first half. Aggies made their last four field goals and have started out the game shooting 5 of 7 from the field and 2 of 3 from beyond the three-point line, holding Northern Iowa with just 2 of 9 from the field and 1 of 4 from the three-point line. Coach, this team is playing well right out of the gate.
Yeah, absolutely, and I love the pace of the game. I mean, we gave up a couple offensive rebounds, which doesn't look great in the stat board, but I really like the way we're getting up and down. I think we need to attack and keep that pace high versus this Northern Iowa team. That always pays dividends in the second half with teams coming in, first time coming into the Spectrum playing at altitude.
Aggies have out-rebounded Northern Iowa 5-4, although Northern Iowa's got a couple of second chance opportunities with 2 offensive rebounds in the early stages of this game. 12-5 our score, 7-point lead for the Aggies with 13:52 left to go in first half action. Aggies will inbound underneath the bucket after the foul against Torian Knight. Dwayne Brown working on the elbow, loses the handle, goes out of bounds, and should go to Northern Iowa. It will, as Brown was the last to touch it.
Yeah, I think he just kind of stumbled a little bit there and expected the defender to be there, and they pulled the chair out from under him.
Haldeman bringing the ball down the court. Austin Fife into the game, number 50, 6'9" player. Working it to Fife. Here quickly comes the double team, so he dribbles out of it. Works it cross court for a long left wing three, and it is up, and it is good as Haldeman buries the three.
Yeah, that's twice we've double teamed the post there, and they're able to skip it opposite for an open shot. We may need to revisit that as the game moves along.
4-point game for the Aggies, 12-8, 13:15 left to go, first half action. Brown to Diogo Brito into the game to Taylor. Taylor looks to work the post. Back up top to Knight on the left wing. Knight gets a screen, tries to slip it to Taylor. Instead, will take the jumper and knocks it down. Torian Knight getting that jumper going early stages of this game, Coach.
Yeah, and that really helps. He's getting some minutes where the last few games we haven't seen him very often, and he's coming out not bashful at all.
6 players have scored a bucket in this game for Utah State. No player scored more than 1 bucket, though. Balanced scoring here for Utah State. Haldeman on the right wing, guarded there by Torian Knight, works it to Fife. Fife then keeps it on the right wing. And finally works it cross court to the left wing, down low on the post, turnaround shot, no good. And here comes Utah State going the other way. Again, Northern Iowa using all of that shot clock. Torian Knight, another jumper, and he knocks it down just inside the three-point line. Good to see Torian Knight playing well, and Utah State with their largest lead of 8, 16-8, 12-12 left in the first half. Right wing, Haldeman has the ball ripped away. Diogo Brito with the steal on the bad pass, and Brito lays it up and in. Nope, they're going to say he traveled first. Sadly, not the NBA, or you'd get away with that one.
Yeah, of course, Coach Smith is arguing that the ball was fumbled, but
yep.
You know, there was some call it a Euro step, some call it 3 steps.
Crowd's cranky. Craig Smith's letting his voice be heard, and Northern Iowa will inbound.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, it's not super athletic looking. It's a little slow, but it still looked like 2 steps to me.
Yep. Haldeman to Fife. Fife outside the three-point line, picks up his dribble, works it left wing. On the drive, Fife loses the handle, and it's still down on the court, and they're going to get Fife with the foul. And that takes us under the 12-minute mark. Utah State leading by 8. We'll have the ball when we come back. 16-8 our score. 11:47 left in the first half on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Score, Utah State leads by 8. 11:47 left to go here in the first half. Fun action here, early stages of this game, Coach. Low scoring as both teams letting their offense. How much of that has to do with the defense, though, for both teams, making both these offenses really work for their shots?
Yeah, I mean, really good. Both defenses are doing a really good job of guarding the ball initially, but you know, the Aggies, what they've exploited is a little bit more early offense, more aggressive early offense, which is really what Northern Iowa has kind of hung their hat on. Hey, credit to TK. I mean, he's
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in the doghouse or playing time or injury. I don't know, but he had sat out a few games. He doesn't get his dauber down. He doesn't pout. He comes out here and just jumps up and makes a couple big shots and really got us going.
Torian Knight, the only player with multiple field goals in this game. He's 2 for 2 from the field. Overall, the Aggies 7 of 9 from the field and 2 of 3 from 3. John Knight into the game. Hands over to Brito. Brito back to Knight. Knight tries to drive, spins, loses the handle, and is stolen away by Northern Iowa. Here comes the Panthers going the other way. Isaiah Brown on the left wing. Brown slips it down to 5 steps, and can't get it to go. Actually, it was McDonald who couldn't get it to go at the rim. Diogo Brito pulls down the board. Brito slips it to Taylor. Taylor loses the handle, but he draws the foul.
Yeah, very aggressive early in the offense. I think that's where you catch him off guard. I think if you get into a set situation or a kind of a slowdown situation, you really play right into Northern Iowa's hand defensively.
Aggies have a chance to push this lead to double digits, leading by 8, 16-8. Quinn Taylor stepping up to the free throw line. That's a 13th foul for Northern Iowa. First free throw is up and good, and Quinn Taylor will have one more.
Yeah, surprisingly, first free throws of the game, right?
Yep. Taylor lines up free throw number 2. It is up and got it to go. Perfect on both, and the Aggies have their largest lead of 10, 18-8, with 11:13 left to go here in the first half. A.J. Green working the ball down the court to McDonald. McDonald hands over to Lowhouse, back into the game. Dishes for a long baseline 3, and it is down. Trey Burhow knocks down the 3 and cuts the lead back to 7, 18-11.
That does expose our defense a little bit. If they're able to drive down the middle and kick, you know, there's really no one there to help. We end up with an open 3.
Keta's going to check in on the next timeout. John Knight on the right to Abel Porter, who just checked in. Porter to Brito. Brito, three-point line, straight away. Over to Brown. Brown back to Porter, who drives baseline, attacks, has a block, goes out of bounds, will stay with Utah State. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Keta's going to check in for Dwayne Brown, who gets a bit of a breather. Dwayne Brown 1 for 1. That one shot coming from 3. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Aggies need to get to work quickly. Inbound to Brito. Brito on the left baseline. Down low to Keta. Keta going to work with 4, 3. Turnaround jumper. Shot is up. Won't go. And here comes Northern Iowa with the board. A.J. Green working into the left side of the court. Another long 3 is up and missed. And Abel Porter pulls down the board. 10-15 left to go. Aggies up by 7, 18-11. Porter to Taylor. Taylor on the right wing. Taylor to Brito, straight away. Works it to John Knight on the left. Knight. Back over to Quinn Taylor. He'll drive. Lays it over to Keta. Keta down low, puts the shot up, scores, but they're going to get him with the offensive foul.
Yeah, kind of lowered his shoulder there to create a little space. Really didn't have to. He needs to work more on elevating, unless, you know, he's not a guard. He doesn't need to create space. He needs to get that extension up high and create this space up high.
So for Keta, that's foul number 1. The big question when he gets that first one is how long can he hold off before he gets foul number 2?
Yeah, and lately it's been coming on, you know, a defensive possession or a defensive rebound not long after that.
A.J. Green working the point. Dishes over to McDonald. McDonald back to Lowhouse. Lowhouse cut off around the free throw line, so he dishes over to Green on the right wing, and he buries the 3. A.J. Green gets the shot, and right now a 6-0 run by Northern Iowa cuts that Aggie lead that was once 10 down to 4, 18-14, with 9:33 left to go in the first half. John Knight to Quinn Taylor. Taylor waits for Sam Merrill to clear. Merrill has to give it back up to Taylor, then dishes quickly back to Merrill, and Merrill draws the foul. Give him the and one, Coach. He just took a shot after the foul and buried the 3. Yeah. Now Quinn Taylor's going to inbound on the near side.
Yeah, I think you know, Northern Iowa is doing a good job. They're penetrating not to score; they're penetrating to pass. So the Aggies need to make some adjustments there, guard the ball a little better, and then be in a little better help position.
18-14, Aggies lead by 4. They've led by as many as 10. Currently Northern Iowa on a 6-0 run. Sam Merrill on the right baseline drives, loses the handle, and they'll draw the foul. That'll be the 14th foul for Northern Iowa. 18-14 our score. Aggies up by 4. Utah State will inbound after Sam drew the foul.
Is there a guy that works harder with the basketball than Sam Merrill? I mean, everything he gets beaten up.
Yep. I don't think there's a guy that hits the court more in the course of a game than Sam Merrill does.
Yeah, that Arizona State game, if you look at that, I mean, he was physically abused in that game.
Taylor on the right wing to Merrill. Merrill to a cutting Keta, who loses the handle. And are they going to call a jump ball?
I'm hoping 2 shots here.
Nope. On the shot.
No, I think they'll have that on the ground. So one thing that Keta's doing is he's bringing that ball down and he's making his 6'11" body into a 5'11" body and letting those guys come in and kind of strip it. We got a foul, which are adding up, 16 fouls.
And the next one, he'll be shooting free throws. Inbound blocked away, and another turnover for Utah State. It's got to be a little careful on how he inbounds that. Lowhouse steals it away. Lowhouse to McDonald, working on the left wing to A.J. Green. Gets a nice screen. Back to McDonald. Driving once again on Keta. Steps up, gets the shot away. No good. Keta alters the shot and gets the rebound.
Great job keeping hands up high, staying out of foul trouble.
John Knight to Sam Merrill on the baseline. Merrill works back to the middle of the court. Takes the long shot. Won't go. Tipped around by Keta, but controlled by Northern Iowa. Quickly going the other way is Lowhouse. Pull up. He takes a 3 in transition. Won't go. And Keta's there to pull down the board. Here comes John Knight working the other way. Knight on the right wing. Works over to Brock Merrill. Brock steps back. He takes a long 3 out the front of the iron. Misses that one. Northern Iowa pulls down the board with McDonald ripping it out. A.J. Green takes a long 3 from a mile away. Missed it, but a offensive rebound. Another one by Northern Iowa. Those long 3s are tough to corral. McDonald takes the 3. That won't go. And finally, John Knight rips down the board. Aggies up by 4, 18-14, 7:57. We'll have a stop on the next timeout. Swing it over to Taylor. Taylor down low to John Knight. Attacks the rim, lays it up and in. Good look by Quinn Taylor for the assist.
Yeah, that's really the first play in quite a while that we've moved without the basketball rather than trying to create it on our own.
Aggies snap that 6-0 run by Northern Iowa. Lead by 6, 20-14, 7:37 left to go. McDonald on the right elbow. Pass over to Lowhouse. Lowhouse tries to drive. Slips it down low to McDonald, who lays it up and in. Got Keta going the wrong way.
Yeah, we had Keta over there to help. We need John Knight III to step in there and steal that ball as he's the help side. Help the helper. You're right.
Brock Miller to Quinn Taylor. Taylor to John Knight. John Knight on the right wing. Back to Keta. Keta sets a screen for Merrill, who cross-court pass over to Brock Miller. Takes a long 3. That won't go. A little too long. Nice offensive rebound, though, by Quinn Taylor. Hands over to Merrill. Fresh shot clock. Merrill dishes to Taylor. Taylor tries to get it to Keta. It's batted away. Keta's able to go back and get it, and now he goes to work in the post. Spin, underhand layup, shot won't go, and fight for the rebound. Will roll into the hands of Northern Iowa. And here come the Panthers, quickly going the other way. Pull up 3, long 3, no good, and Brock Miller pulls down the board. Quickly to Merrill. Merrill pulls up. He'll take the jumper. That won't go. Not great shot selection going back and forth here between these two teams. And a timeout on the court. 6:27 left to go here in the first half. Aggies lead by 4, 20-16. We'll take a timeout as well here on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Aggies only made 1 out of their last 8 shot attempts, Coach. And after starting off with a blistering they started out 7 of 9, but now fallen to 8 of 17 shooting, Coach. Back to 47%, 33% from 3.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, coaches will go back and look at the film and say, why in the world did I substitute those guys out? We were on a little run there. And then we go about 3 minutes and change, after making some subs without being able to score. But, that's a product of the game, and it's the flow that we play in, and we're playing at such a high pace that I think we need some volume guys. So Aggies just need to settle down here, get back to what was helping them, a defensive rebound and then off to the races.
All right, back underway. Northern Iowa will inbound. The ball underneath their own hoop. Set to inbound is Trey Burhow. Got the start in this game. 6'5", 195-pound sophomore from Mayer, Minnesota. Crossing the timeline. Number 30, Spencer Haldeman. Working back up top to Pickford. Pickford to A.J. Green outside the three-point line. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Green on the left wing, slips it down to Fife, who has the ball knocked out of his hands. Check that, Justin Dahl, 7-footer, 261-pound redshirt junior from Carver, Minnesota, has the ball blocked. And once again, another victim of the block shot by Ketta. Hand over to Green. Green on the right wing. He'll take a spot up three. Won't go. And the ball tipped around and once again controlled by Northern Iowa. Their 4th offensive rebound in the early stages of this game. Actually make that 5 offensive boards. Dahl has the hands off for a pull-up shot. Missed. And a foul is going to go against Northern Iowa.
Which will mean we're at free throws on the other end. This is Ketta on the line.
See how Ketta continues his free throw shooting. Is that a nice start? That's a good stroke from the free throw line, Coach.
Yeah, I like his rhythm, and that ball's so small in his hands, but he's got a rhythm that he likes and a pace that he likes.
Aggies have gone the last 2:05 without scoring. Hopefully Ketta can snap that here. Also, as bad as Utah State has been, only making 1 out of their last 8. Northern Iowa's only made 1 out of their last 9 field goal attempts. Ketta lines up, first free throw on the 1-and-1, and rims out. Rebound tipped around, and will go out of bounds and stay with Utah State. Good job by not only Dwayne Brown, but Brock Miller keeping that ball alive.
Yeah, everybody getting in there, and that's, we're giving up a few offensive rebounds on the other end, but they're coming off long shots, which aren't always as easy to rebound.
Set to inbound. Crew Ainge waiting for somebody to clear. Finally works it to Sam Merrill on the right baseline. Merrill spins into the lane, then spins back to the baseline, puts the shot up off the glass and gets it to go.
That's a pretty good move, right? A little head fake, get his man up in the air, kiss off the glass.
Aggies up by 6. Dahl with the ball, big 7-footer. Working it over on the left wing, gets it back in the paint, goes to work against Ketta, spins, puts the shot up, rattles around and drops. Ketta's not going to be happy about that. Lead back to 4. 22-18, 5:15 left to go first half. Brock Miller looking to drive, swings it back over to Ainge. Ainge drives into the lane. He puts a shot off the glass, is short, and the rebound pulled down by Burhow. Burhow to Green. Green on the right wing, cut off by Dwayne Brown. Then he works back to the middle of the court, into the lane, over to Haldeman, down low to Dahl, and we got a foul. And I did not see.
That'll be on Ketta with a knee.
There's Ketta with foul number 2. And most likely his first half is done, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, that was, especially with 5 minutes left, and I think he's given you quite a bit. Will be a little mismatch for Quinn in the post with the big fella out there, Dolly. But that's something that he's not unfamiliar with.
Yep, so Quinn Taylor coming into the game, Diogo Brito into the game. Also Torian Knight checking into the game as well, who had a nice early stretch. Northern Iowa with Brown dishing over on the left wing. Back up top. Number 22, Lowhouse to Dahl. Dahl cuts off his dribble, hands over to Haldeman. Haldeman still with the ball on the right baseline, tries to slip it down low to Dahl, but the ball's going to go out of bounds and stay with Northern Iowa.
Yeah, Haldeman, he's kind of a probing driver, right?
Yep.
He just kind of probes to see if he can get some help and then make that right pass. Really a smart, intelligent-looking basketball player.
All right, Northern Iowa with 3 seconds left. Gets it to Dahl. Dahl has a good look at the rim, won't go, and here comes another offensive rebound as Craig Smith slams his foot down on the court. 6th offensive board for Northern Iowa. Dahl to Goldman. Goldman to Haldeman. And back to Dahl out top to the three-point line. Has the ball ripped out of his hands. He's able to corral it back. Hands over for a long three-point shot attempt, which is up, and it is good, and it's a 1-point game. 22-21.
Well, it's an absolute backbreaker, right? You give up an offensive rebound, and it turns into a 3.
Yep. Diogo Brito, as the Aggies' offense is slowed down to Torian Knight. Torian Knight on the right wing. Hands over to Brown. Brown outside the three-point line on the baseline. Gives it back to Knight. Hands back to Taylor. Taylor to Merrill. Back to Dwayne Brown. Torian Knight tries to drive. He loses the handle. Has to pick it up. And finally, Sam Merrill comes away with it. Takes the long 3. Knocks it down. Sam Merrill bailing out the Aggies when it looked like the offense had come to a complete halt. Aggies back up by 4. 25-21. 3.5 minutes left to go. Dahl outside the three-point line straight away to Haldeman. Long 3. Up. Short. Rebound pulled down by Merrill. Merrill quickly going the other way. Northern Iowa's back. Sam Merrill, though, still wants to drive, and he's going to draw the foul, and he'll get to the free throw line. Good job by Sam Merrill attacking and trying to be the aggressor. 3:20 left to go here in the first half. Aggies up by 4 against Northern Iowa, 25-21 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Here in the first half, and the Aggies back up by 4, 25-21. Aggies led in scoring with Sam Merrill, who's got 8. Other than that, Knight with 4, Brown with 3, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, each with a bucket each, Coach.
Yeah, and I think offensively, adjustment-wise, when we're in early offense, we have a really good opportunity to kind of get downhill towards the basket. When we get in that half-court, not set offense, when we get in the half-court motion, too many guys standing around, and I think that's what Coach Smith will allude to. Too many guys standing, and the ball's not moving like it has in the past. So that'll be an adjustment they would hope to make. And then again, owning the defensive glass. We got hands on it. We need to come down with it.
25-21, 4-point game for Utah State, leading, looking for their 6th win of the season. 3:20 left to go here in the first half. Aggies out on the court with Sam Merrill, who's going to shoot the 1-and-1. Torian Knight, Brock Miller, Quinn Taylor, and Diogo Brito. Nemias Keta just picked up his 2nd foul as Merrill hits the first free throw. So his first half most likely is done, and he'll have to wait till the second half as the Aggies try to protect him from that 3rd foul.
Not as long of a break as he had in the Arizona State
11
game.
minutes he had to sit out the first that game against Arizona State. Merrill goes 2 for 2. Aggies on a 5-0 run, all courtesy of Sam Merrill. 27-21, and with that, Sam Merrill in double digits with 10 points on the night. A.J. Green to Haldeman on the right wing. Works it back up top to McDonald. McDonald back to Green. Green works it to the left side, slips it down to McDonald, who's got a good look, and lays it up and in. He got lost in traffic somehow, Coach.
Yeah, I think we're keying a little too much on Green, and we just end up overextending ourselves.
Torian Knight gets a screen from Quinn Taylor, hands over to Merrill. Merrill tries to cross over. Instead, will hand over to Brock Miller. Back to Taylor. Taylor outside the three-point line to Diogo Brito. Brito thinks about the 3. Instead, hands over to Sam Merrill on the right wing. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Merrill to Quinn Taylor on the right baseline. He'll need to go to work. Baseline, hook shot won't go, and the rebound pulled down by Northern Iowa. 27-23, 4-point game. Panthers under 4. Long 3 by Haldeman. Misses everything, and Brock Miller's able to pull down the board. Northern Iowa certainly getting a lot of shots up early now. Sam Merrill cross court to Knight. Knight behind the back dribble, in traffic, puts the shot up and gets it to go. Coach.
A little leap and spin.
That was slick. 6 points for Torian Knight. 29-23, Aggies back up by 6 as we reach the 2-minute mark here in the first half. A.J. Green to Haldeman, back up top to number 34, Luke McDonald. McDonald outside the three-point line. Back to Haldeman to Green. Green near the timeline with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Green finally going to work, gets around Torian Knight, pulls up from the elbow, won't go, and Brock Miller's there for the rebound. Aggies quickly down the court. Brock Miller, he'll drive. He puts the shot, won't go, and pulled down quickly by Northern Iowa. Not a great look there. Haldeman with the board. Haldeman down to McDonald against Merrill, and Merrill once again will draw an offensive charge.
Yeah, perfect timing. He's breathing. That'll hurt you for a minute, but definitely worth it.
6-point game. Utah State leads by 6, 1:28 left to go here in the first half. Aggies shooting 48% from the field, holding Northern Iowa to just 29% from the field on 9 of 31 shooting. Only thing Northern Iowa really has going for them in their favor is 6 offensive rebounds, which has allowed them to have a couple extra possessions. Abel Porter into the game to Sam Merrill on the left wing. Merrill gets a screen from Quinn Taylor. Back to Taylor. Taylor on the baseline. Decides to give it back to Merrill. Merrill double team, pulls back, takes the jumper, won't go. Brock Miller tries to get in there for the rebound, but A.J. Green's able to wrestle it away. 1:05 left to go, first half. Aggies up by 6, 29-23. Green slips it down to Goldman. Goldman tries to turn around, instead gives it over to Lohaus, who takes the long 3. That won't go. Fight for the rebound, and they're going to get Northern Iowa with a rebound foul on Trey Burhow.
Which will bring us to free throws. A double bonus yet? Still single bonus?
I think we're double. Yep, there it goes. 29-23. 2 shots coming up here for Diogo Brito.
And that's kind of been our best offense the last 4 or 5 minutes, really. Just not a lot of movement offensively. A little too much standing.
Here comes Brito with a couple free throws. Free throw number 1 is up and good. And with that, Utah State 5 of 6 from the free throw line. 30-23. Brito will try to push this lead to 8 with 55 seconds left. Second shot is up, and that is good as well. So 31-23, 8-point game for the Aggies. Their largest lead in this game has been 10. A.J. Green picked up in midcourt by Sam Merrill. Merrill to Goldman. Goldman then hands over to Lohaus. Lohaus has his dribble cut off, so he works it to Green. He'll drive into the paint. Swings it over for a long baseline 3. Missed. And fight for the rebound. Tapped around. Finally, Brito comes away with it. Brito crossing the timeline. 30 seconds left on the shot clock. Over to Brock Miller on the right wing. Takes a long 3. Brock Miller missed it. And now Northern Iowa's going to hold for the last shot. Is Brock trying to get a 2-for-1 there? Or?
No, I think his defender left. He was open. He shot it. I think if you make it, you say good shot. If you miss it, it's a bad shot.
Yep. Aggies could have held for the last shot. Green being picked up by Merrill. Green drives, crossover, takes a step back, puts a shot up, no good. Quinn Taylor comes away with it. Hoists up a shot, and the buzzer will be short, and the Aggies will lead by 8 at the break. 31-23. Aggies with an 8-point lead, looking to pick up their 6th win of the season. You're listening to Utah State football as the Aggies up 31-23 at the break on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.